Greetings everyone, welcome to this new video. We're gonna take a look at what maps we're gonna shape and elder in 3.8 Blight League. These are not the final ones because we don't know where the new divination cards are gonna drop or how the new Blight mechanics, but we're gonna definitely need to update this in the comments, maybe make a whole new video. But I think we're fairly safe in predicting that these are gonna be the primary contenders when it comes to all of these, so you can pretty much already set this in stone, and then we just make small adjustments which you can easily do in this game. So there's a few things that goes into this. It's obviously mob count, how many enemies per map, because the more enemies the more drops we're gonna have, and especially the more map sustain we're gonna have. So that is super important for our choices here. Also divination cards, there's some divination cards that are like 10 exalted, some like the doctor and stuff like that. That is obviously gonna have a great impact on which map we're gonna pick. And also there is some specific bases that can only drop in certain areas on the map. As you can see here, it's already drawn out there. And there's other small things like obviously layout, because we do not want to run a map that is bad layout. And I also take into great account is that how the look of the map is. If it's very dark, it's very boring to run 100 of them. I'm definitely not going to run those. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into the tier list right now. We're gonna start with our tier 1, which is Jungle Valley. I picked up here and up in the right corner. It is a very good layout, and it has one awesome divination card, which is the wind that drops there. It gives you the Wind Ripper, which is also always a great card for any league because it gives you that extra quantity. So for Magic Find gear, this is a must. So if you want to spam this one, and I think it's going to be affected also by 5 white sextants. It's not the case right now. I don't know how they were thinking up here, but yeah, that's something they promised in the previous league, that, or was it 2 leagues ago, where every map should be accessible by 5 sextants. So I don't know how that is gonna happen on Jungle Valley, but that's what they promised, so it's gonna happen. So if you don't want that one, we can also go with the arcade, which is somewhere else. It's down here. The reason for that is they drop Saint Treasure, and they have insane mob density also, so there's a lot of extra monsters. And the Saint Treasure is extra exalted, so you don't even need to sell things. You can't rake in the exalted. It has a very low drop rate, but if you run a few, you should see a few of these cards. So it's not super like the doctor card, which is very seldom you see in anyway. So for tier 2, we're gonna go for Alleyways. It's tier 2 up here. And Alleyways is always a good choice because it's really fast, it's linear, and you just go from one side to the next. Easy boss and density, and everything is good with Alleyways. I don't think it has any good contenders otherwise, so definitely the way of going. Maybe Mesa, maybe. For our tier 3, we're gonna go with Ashenwood. Ashenwood has only one negative. Where is Ashenwood? It's down here. Ashenwood have only one negative in my mind. Is that it's fairly dark, but it is outside. It is open layout, and it has an extremely easy boss and really good density of mob. And also it has a good divination card, the Enlighten, which gives you a level 3 Enlighten gem, which sells for a few exalted, especially in the beginning of late. And it's not that rare to actually find it, so you can definitely farm for it. So that's what I did in last league. I got some Ashenwood and just ran a bunch of them and just turned up the brightness of my screen to maximum, and it turned out pretty well. So it's definitely a good choice here. Otherwise, I don't think there's any contenders here. Tier 4 Burial Chamber, if you're not planning on putting that on your Elder Orb, you can definitely go for Burial Chamber here, and it's for obvious reasons. The Doctor, which is 10 exalted per card or something like that. I don't know how much it got up to last league, but because I didn't farm a Burial Chamber. But yes, good layout, good mob density, I mean, the boss is a little bit rippy sometimes. I've seen people die on it, but honestly, if you're not stupid and stand in the explosions, you should be fine. So I definitely recommend doing that. Otherwise, it's Arid Lake, which has a good layout. It's also on tier 4, or Channel. Channel is a really good choice in the beginning because it drops the humility card and it's linear. It's really fast to get through. Humility card and the tabula rasa, which it gives, is going to be extremely desirable in the beginning of the game, and you are going to just rake in because humility card drops all the time. Like, they drop a lot of them. So good choice if you want to, even if you go solo self-found, you can definitely go with that one also. For tier 5 we have the beach, one of my favorite maps, honestly. It's so good. The layout is so easy and you basically can clear the whole map in one go without backtracking or anything. It's good mob density. It's not the best, but it's definitely up there. And it's also an okay boss. It has 2 stages to the boss, but I didn't kill it that much last time because I had it Shaper Stronghold on it. But I would say it's a fairly easy boss, which is very good for this league because you want to kill the bosses in this league because of how the master missions stack up and so on. So I definitely go for that one. You have also a really good contender, which is City Square, but I'm planning on eldering that map, which we'll get to later on in this. Tier 6 is Racecourse because it has 3 bosses. So if you're planning on valing one of your maps, or valing every map, which I'm always doing because I'm picking builds that can run all map mods. So when I'm valing the map, if it has 3 bosses, they can all drop those fragments, which is very good in the beginning of the league. Even after, it is at least 1 chaos per fragment, and each boss can drop it, and it also has increased drop rates of all other items if it is a boss then. So definitely Racecourse on tier 6. You can also do, if you don't like Racecourse, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but you can also choose Estuary. Tier 7, which is Underground Sea, probably the highest density map in the whole game. I just don't like it that much because it's underground and it's very dark, and the boss, they increase the difficulty of it because it's in 2 phases now and so on. But people seem to love this one, and I just want to keep you up to date with what other people are playing also. I'm probably gonna go with Underground Sea anyway. I'm not gonna run 100 or 200 or 300 maps of it, but I'm just gonna run it when I'm actually getting these. For tier 8 we're gonna go with I want to go with Atoll. I put Atoll in there because I love Atoll's layout. It is one of the best maps in the game, if not the best, in layout format, and I think it's gonna be very good for our new mechanic. Also, you just run around in a circle or a figure 8 kind of thing, and the boss is you just walk over. You can just go in there, kill it in one shot, and then go out. It's super easy and everything, and it has some good divination card also, the Wind, and then it has which was for the Wind Ripper, and it also has the one for Beric's Grip, I think is the ring, which goes for quite a hefty price in the beginning of the league. We'll see how it goes now when with the new league mechanics and so on. For tier 9 we have I don't know, it's Mud Geyser. Tier 9 doesn't look that good, honestly. Tier 9 has no really good maps. I don't know. It just seems very meh, all of them. So I wrote Mud Geyser there. I probably will not run any of these. Yeah, Mud Geyser is the best I can do here. It has a decent layout, decent mob count, decent boss and everything like that. I think, yeah, it's probably the best bet on this one. For tier 10, Dunes has very good layout. I love how bright it is, how easy it is to clear the whole map, and the boss is super simple. But you can also do Toxic Sewer. Toxic Sewer has been a great contender for all leagues because you can run around in a circle basically in there and never miss a single mob. The boss is a little bit rippy, but nah, it's a really good map also. And Moon Temple has one of the highest density, so definitely a good contender also. But I would probably pick Dunes in this one, even though it might not have the same density as the other two. And now for the important thing, it's gonna be which one am I gonna elder? And I'm gonna put my first one on City Square here, which is down here. It can be, I think it's gonna be 3 white sextants and 2 yellow sextant that reaches, which is very important to look at. Which one can I have? If it were not reached by this mining whites, I would probably switch it over to Burial Chambers, which is there, which can only be hit by white sextant. That's why I think Burial Chambers will probably be the top pick in this one. But City Square has 3 bosses in it, and like I said before, I always val my maps. So I'm gonna be bombarded with extra fragments, extra loot and stuff like that, just because I'm always doing 3 bosses in each map. So I just think that is gonna help me with map sustain. It's gonna help me because City Square has great mob count, and yeah, it's really easy to clear. I just think that City Square is gonna be the superior way. Also, for the Blight mechanics, I think it's gonna, an open layout is going to be probably better for this one. I don't know how it's going to end up, but I just have a feeling that that is going to be the case in this one. So I definitely think that our City Square is going to be our best bet. But Burial Chamber has the Doctor card, and yeah, but it's so far in between, especially in the nerf they got in 3.7 with the Doctor drops. So these are my choices, and I'm gonna update them. I'm also gonna put in this picture in the description so you can easily find it yourself, so if you can print it out or just have it on your desktop or something like that, if it helps you. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment, and as always, put a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for future content just like this. Have an awesome day, everyone.